the storage problem nobody connects. If your silicone baking mats always feel dusty, greasy, or just odd when you pull them out of the drawer, you're not alone. A lot of silicone problems don't start in the oven. They start in storage. Folded into tight stacks, stuffed into drawers, pressed against greasy pans, rolled while still holding residue, silicone doesn't just sit there, it absorbs, and it transfers, and it traps. Section 2. Why storage matters as much as cleaning. Silicone is hydrophobic, meaning that it repels water, but it is also oleophilic, meaning it attracts oils. That makes it excellent for baking. It also makes it excellent at collecting whatever it touches. Cooking oils, drawer dust, pan residue, detergent film, odor compounds. When silicone mats are stored, pressed against other objects, those compounds don't just sit on the surface, they migrate. Section 3. Folding creates contamination zones. Folding silicone mats creates creases. And those creases trap oils, they trap moisture, and residue that washing didn't fully remove. They also create pressure points where contamination is slowly pressed into the silicone over time. And those fold lines often become odor sources. Sticky zones in the first places smells show up when the mat heats. Section 4. Why stuffed drawers make mats feel dirty. When silicone mats are shoved into drawers, they press against dusty surfaces. They rub against greasy cookware and seal against themselves with no airflow. Silicone slowly absorbs whatever it's touching. That's why mats often feel dusty, greasy, or have an off smell, even when they haven't been used. Section 5. The hidden problem with storing mats against pans. Pans often carry thin films of old cooking oils. You can't always see them, feel them, they're always there. And silicone can always feel them. When mats are stored between sheets, pans, or wrapped around bakeware, silicone slowly pulls those oils into the surface. This is one of the most common sources of burnt oil smells that seem to appear out of the blue. Section 6. Rolled mats still trap contamination. Rolling silicone mats seems harmless, seems efficient, but rolled storage traps interior contact. It limits airflow and creates continuous pressure where surfaces touch. And that pressure slowly transfers oils and odors from one part of the mat to another. Section 7. Flat storage beats folded storage. Flat storage keeps the mat from creasing. It also prevents pressure zones where contamination gets pressed into the silicone. Flat is not just about shape, it's about chemistry. The most ideal way to store your mats is in a SilSpa, flat or upright in a drawer. The SilSpa creates like a cage or caddy around the silicone so that it doesn't touch anything else that it's in the drawer with or the cabinet. Section 8. Airflow is the real solution. Silicone doesn't need to be sealed. It needs to breathe. Airflow allows trace moisture to leave, volatile compounds to dissipate, and odors to fade instead of build. When silicone is stored pressed together in the dark, still spaces, whatever's inside, it stays in it. Section 9. What proper silicone storage requires. The most reliable silicone storage setup has a few simple features. Mats are kept flat, and mats are stored vertically. Surfaces are separated. Airflow is present, and nothing greasy is pressed against them. Vertical storage isn't about organization, it's about conditions. And SilSpa answers all of those. It keeps the mat upright, and it keeps it in a cage so that it isn't allowed to touch anything, whether it's flat in a drawer or vertically in a cabinet or wherever you choose to store your mats. You can even hang it. Section 10. Why vertical flat storage changes everything. Vertical flat storage prevents creases, it stops oil transfer, and it allows air to move between surfaces. It removes pressure, allows gravity to work, and it keeps your silicone mat from becoming a sponge for whatever's nearby. It is the tofu of the baking world. Section 11. where SilSpa fits naturally. This is where small physical systems start to matter. SilSpa holds silicone baking mats upright, flat, and separated. And that keeps them from folding, prevents them from pressing against greasy pans, and allows air to move between the surfaces. It also keeps mats visible and accessible, which reduces the habit of stuffing them into drawers. Section 12. Storage is prevention, not maintenance. Most people treat silicone problems when they show up. Stickiness, smells, discoloration, flavor transfer. Storage determines whether these problems build or disappear. You can deep clean silicone, but how you store it determines whether you have to keep doing that. With a SilSpa, I find that you do not have to ever deep clean your silicone mats. The SilSpa itself is prevention because it is proper cleaning, proper drying, and proper storing. Section 13, a simple long-term silicone storage system. A long-term silicone-friendly setup looks like this. Mats are fully dried, stored flat, not folded, kept vertical, not stacked, and separated from greasy cookware. They're exposed to airflow and not sealed into drawers. Whether that's done with a rack, a divider, or a dedicated holder like SilSpa, the conditions matter more than the tool. Section 14. If your silicone baking mats always seem to get gross, it's rarely because they weren't washed well enough. That can happen, but not always. It's because silicone remembers where it's been. Once storage stops pressing oils, dust, and odors onto the surface, silicone does what it was designed to do, and that is stay neutral, stay clean, and last for years.